It is the Riot. This is our podcast.
Happy podcast time.
Whee!
Yay! Actually, it's been so sweet. You guys really have stepped up letting us know that you've been enjoying the podcast.
Yes,
for a lot
indeed.
of people who are working at home or just have more stay-at-home time during all this stuff that's going on. So we're glad that it helps make the day a little better.
Yeah, I want to say hi to Steven. I don't know if we talked about you on the show today. I don't know if it made it into the podcast, but he texted us in the middle of the night showing us that he had found a lot of toilet paper
at Costco is great.
So congratulations to you, sir.
I looked up your area code on your phone number because I set a text to text you back, but I didn't want to send it, depending on where you're at. And I think he's in Alaska, but correct me if I'm wrong.
His area code is.
It doesn't mean that you are,
right.
But your phone area code is.
Yeah, so that could be a thing. Just a warning that today's podcast, apparently I'm off the rails a bit.
I don't think you're off the rails. I think one's on, one's off. So it's a half and half.
That actually seems fair.
You're off the rail.
I'm on a rail.
But not both of them.
Sure. That's fair. I mean, I don't go completely off the deep end.
If you like a train.
Right.
So that's what we're doing.
Apparently I'm off the rail. So today in the podcast, what pairs well with a Reese's egg? You know what? I'll tell you what set me off this morning. I walked in this morning. There was a gun on a table. I was supposed to point it at my head.
It's a thermometer.
It said pointed head and pull trigger.
Thermometer.
That's actually what it says.
Thermometer.
And I was like, this is very dark. It's very dark.
That's what set you off?
Yeah, that was it. We also talk about your mom hoarding toilet paper.
Oh, this story's kind of sad, but, I mean, just the fact that that's what's going on right now.
Well, I think that this story, there's a sickness. This is just a symptom.
Sure.
This is not.
There's been other problems in that household. I can guarantee that.
It's not the first time.
This is not the first argument.
We had to call the police.
Correct.
It's not the first time. Let's see. We talked Chick-fil-A, the World Health Organization, Hot Pockets.
Pockets.
Nikki's tax returns.
Yeah.
Space Force.
Yeah.
And the local government that is using drones to make sure you don't hang out.
And I think that's about the time when you really get the Obi's on fire today for some of that stuff. So it'll really pick up around then.
It's you know what? It's just one of those things where every once in a while my brain is like, hey, guys.
I see this.
Does anybody else see this? It's just me. Okay, it's just me. I'll just be quiet.
Well, hopefully you two will enjoy this entire podcast. And then don't forget, you can text us anytime. We'll see it when we come into the studio. So hopefully we'll get back to you when we try to look up to make sure we are sending you the appropriately timed message back when you're awake and ready for it. So all you have to do is just text 877 to RadioU. Tell us your name and where you're a podcast listener from.
All right. Anything else?
I hope we covered it all.
All right. Well, just one more time. Apologies in advance.
Apologies accepted.
Bye.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Good morning, Obi.
That's where we're at today.
Is that what we did yesterday? And after show, well, actually, we tried those just yesterday. That's the new Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda. And that's the Reese's eggs we had yesterday.
We're still here.
Well, it's off to a good start with the breakfast.
I'm depressed, and so I'm eating because I got in this morning, and the first thing I saw was a gun that I'm supposed to point at my head.
It's a thermometer that you're supposed to use, a digital thermometer, so it's not the other thing.
I feel like you're training me.
Is that
I was like, just get comfortable shooting yourself in the head. It's fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
No big deal.
No,
you just put this point of the gun at your head and then squeeze the trigger.
No, you are supposed to be taking your temperature when you walk in the door, and that's why it's located there. And if you pass, then that's why you can have your snacks like a good DJ.
Would you like to know what my temperature was after multiple
what
takes?
is it?
96.9.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So I might already be dead.
Why is it saying it that way? You want me to do it?
Okay.
Do you normally have a lower body temperature?
I don't know.
Mine's normally like 97.8. So that is still somewhat low.
That's the station Nikki will be working for in the future. 97.8.
Does sound like
FM.
You do. You work for the station that your temperature matches.
Mornings on 96.9. It's Obadiah.
Woo! He's lower.
Woo! It's going to be huge.
Nice. I feel talk show network, so you're going to be on a talk show station.
It's going to be really big. Yeah, multiple times. It was like the first time I took it, it was 95.2.
Well,
and
then
I was like,
that's not working.
Like, how long has he been dead? Let's see. It looks like probably 2 hours.
Yeah. Have you been taking your temperature, though, in the morning? Just say yes.
Yes.
Yes, you have. Okay. I didn't know if you noticed a trend or a normal temperature for you in the morning.
No. One day I didn't take my temperature and my neighbor reported me, so I had to...
I had to go in.
I had to go back in and retake it.
All right. Well, you feel fine. You must be fine.
I think I'm okay.
Take it after you drink all your soda and see what your body temperature is.
But it's not supposed to matter because this is the gun you point at your forehead.
True. But still, your body would warm up based on the nice, cool soda.
It gets to the Dr. Pepper and it's like, we're ready now.
Yeah, now, I'm sorry. You saw the doctor.
We've been in standby.
You
now
can
we're
come
ready.
in now and get your actual temperature.
That's like what was it? The last time I went to the doctor, every time you go, they take your blood pressure or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, what's my blood pressure? And they told me, and it's like 100 over 60 or something. It was fine. And I was like, so, okay, what happens? What do you do with those numbers? And she was like, yeah, she's like, people's blood pressures are all over the place. Unless it was, and she gave these absurdly high numbers. She's like, we don't even care.
Oh, good.
And I was like, thank you. Yes.
Finally someone said it.
I figured that was the case, but I just wanted to know.
Now everybody wants to know what the numbers are.
Seriously, I don't remember, but like she told me, and then it must be the same with your temperature. Like, unless it's at 108 or something. With these guns, nobody even knows.
You're close enough.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
You know how there are out there, if you do some digging, they'll tell you, what kind of wine to pair with your meat or whatever with your meal. And I want you to know that the Riot is on the forefront of taste and proper pairings.
Yeah, what do you got?
So, here's what I have learned is that I have these Reese's Pieces eggs because I was such a rebel that I went into a store.
And you bought those along with some other Easter candy.
I did. And so I'm eating these, and then I'm drinking this Diet Dr. Pepper and cream soda, and these are killing the Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, they're too strong for the flavor?
So what you want to do is you want to pair the Reese's Pieces with a nice morning coffee.
Ooh.
A brew.
Yeah, and that'll work?
Oh, yeah. See, it brings
Is that perfect?
It brings out the right notes in the coffee.
It does. It enhances the flavor of it.
And then also the Reese's Pieces. So, I mean, it's
Why don't you just toss them in there then?
No. Oh, no. Nikki,
If it's good, just throw it in.
No, that's not necessarily it, because remember what it is it's you're making a chemical mixture in your mouth. It's your saliva plus the Reese's plus whatever. You don't want to pre-mix them. It has to happen at the right time.
It'll squash it too much.
At the right temperature,
Gotcha.
which I believe to be 96.9 from what I've heard.
for your coffee there.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday we did an after show, which you can watch if you head over to our Facebook page. That's at Radio U or Radio U Riot. You should be following that page and getting notifications. We did some Easter candy. We did Easter Peeps, the hot tamales, the pancakes and syrup, and the sour watermelon. And then also finally tried Mountain Dew Frostbite. So that is available if you want to watch.
Yeah, it's all there. Also, Nick, you haven't taken your temperature yet, so
I will go and take my temperature, and I'm going to go make my breakfast.
If you don't do that within the next 2 to 3 minutes, I'm calling the governor.
Just letting you know, you wouldn't tell on me.
Governor?
I've been taking my temperature every morning at home before I come in.
Yeah, sure. That no one sees, that nobody knows.
No one knows. I'm following the rules.
Nikki, you have to have, I need the accountability that comes with
this
you
show.
Pointing the gun at your head and pulling the trigger while I watch.
Well, don't forget again to check out Radio U Riot on Facebook and then also our YouTube channel for our after show from yesterday.
And don't forget, with your Easter candy that you probably won't get because you're not allowed to leave your house, coffee pairs very well with Reese's Pieces eggs.
I think we knew that deep down that was a good choice.
Hey, listen, I'm confirming it.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, what did you score?
98.3. That's my temperature.
All right.
It's not a game. We just got a digital thermometer finally here at Radio. You had been on back order for a while, and we're essential personnel, so you're supposed to take your temperature every morning before you go into work and when you're actually at work itself. So now that's finally here, we can take our temperature with it.
Blessings 98.3. I'm Nikki. This morning, I came in and found a gun that I was supposed to point at my head to take my temperature.
Gun.
But you know what? We're all in this together.
Yours is just...
Stay inside, stay alive, and let's keep taking our temperatures here on 98.3. Today's hits.
Your temperature's just a bit low, so I thought, well, maybe we just try it again.
Sick in the head. That's what it is.
Don't Google it, though. Don't find out. That's the worst. You do not need that
actually,
today.
Wait, that's a great idea. Here we go. What does low body temp mean?
And how low is yours?
Let's see. Low body temperature usually happens from being out in cold weather. It may also be caused by alcohol or drug use. But I didn't.
You lie.
I
The thermometer tells.
I took some melatonin last night.
That actually could be it.
Is that what gives me low body temp?
Could be, maybe.
I couldn't sleep, Nikki.
Listen, just close out of it. You know you're not supposed to do that. You're going to be just thinking about it all day.
Listen, Dr. Google is here to help me. He's here to help all of us.
You don't have a problem. You're fine.
Alcohol or drug use, going into shock, or certain disorders such as diabetes. And here I am eating these Reese's Pieces. What am I doing?
I think you know.
Okay. A lower body temperature may occur with an infection. I got to go.
You just can't. By the way, just a reminder, Obi will be out on Monday and Tuesday.
I will.
And there's no connection with sickness or anything
connected.
like that. So I just want to give everybody a heads up. We should just be reminding everybody.
We probably should. What's today?
Today's Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 2 days of us reminding you. I'm out Monday and Tuesday.
Just didn't want anybody to think there's a correlation between it all.
Yeah.
It's not.
You're like, dude, what are you doing? I'm not going anywhere. These are going to be mental health vacation days in which I try to claw my way back to some semblance of sanity.
All right, well, go ahead and have another Reese's egg and get some more coffee.
I can't. They're gone.
You ate them when they're gone.
I ate them all. Low in there.
You ate them all.
I did.
All right, well, we'll try your temperature later.
You're not pointing that thing at me.
Why? I thought it's not user error. It's not. You're fine. You know how to use it.
If you pointed at me, then no. Nope. Because then you become liable. What if the disease goes up the laser, through the gut, into your hand?
Never mind.
Have you considered all the options?
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on Radio U.
You're locked at home. You're never coming out. I need something.
You are so dramatic today.
I ain't got no money either. Nikki, you and I have the solution. Mm-hmm. That's what you and I do. We don't necessarily solve things, but we tell you about other people's solutions.
Well, we tell you about their ideas. You take it and then either run with it or you know that you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah. So I have it here in my hand that Google Stadia, which is that online streaming video game service from Google.
Is it still going?
They launched it back in November, but it was only for people who bought the Founders Edition, which was $120, and you got some hardware with it, et cetera, and some free games. But they are, to anyone and everyone,
now ready?
Whoever wants in, you can have 2 free months of Google Stadia Pro.
I don't feel like it really caught on, but
You don't say things like that.
I don't. Technically, it wasn't like for everybody. So now does it count if it takes off?
I don't.
Since, the other people are kind of like the beta testers for a while.
I don't know.
I mean, you quit Stadia, didn't you?
I did. One of our listeners, whose name I don't remember right at this moment, he was so kind that he sent me the Stadia Buddy Pass.
Because everybody got like a +1.
Yeah, if you joined the Stadia Premier Pack or whatever, you got 1 Buddy Pass. He gave it to me. That was very nice, and I did spend time with it. I played several different places because it's a whole like remote streaming kind of gaming thing, and I really tried it out, but it just came down to that I didn't like the fact that you had to pay for the service then you had to buy games. And it was like you had to buy games again that you'd already bought.
So just as someone who knows even less, standing out looking in, it's not like Google has games for you to play that's theirs that are free.
Right.
You're basically just using their service to be able to remotely play video games that you'd have to pay for again to have within their service.
Think about it like this. I'm standing here and I'm like, hey, I'll give you a PlayStation 4 for 2 months for free. Now, I'm not giving you anything else. I'm not even going to give you a controller. But you're going to have to take care of the rest of yourself. Oh, and I'll give you my copy of Destiny 2.
That's their, that's the one game they're giving you?
Destiny 2 is a freebie. Now, as I understand it, there are also some free games that you can play.
During the 2 months.
Yeah, during the 2 months. Like, there are other games in there. It's not just, only that game and nothing else. So you'll have to look into that a little bit more on your own. I can't do everything for you, okay? But
if you want to play and try it, now it's 2 months and now anybody can do it.
That's where I'm coming from. It's like, hey, it is in fact 2 free months of this. You can take a crack at it if you've been curious about it at all. And for some of us, what else do you have to do right now?
Which is why they're offering the 2 free months.
Right.
That is
exactly
absolutely
right.
why they're doing
exactly
it. Do
right.
they say what it'll be once the free months are up?
Remember, they haven't done it yet, but there's going to be a free tier of it that's out there at some point, but it will be, I think it'll be limited to like HD and stereo sound, but their pro bundle or their pro service, which is what you're getting 2 free months of now, it comes with 1 or 2 free games a month. And then it will stream in 4K, HDR, surround sound, et cetera, et cetera. So they're throwing in basically, they'll make it look real nice for you.
Real purty.
Real purty.
So it's something if you want to try remote gaming from the other parts of your house, so you can go and play in one room or in the other or outside on your front driveway.
Stadia.google.com, and you just have to sign in with a Google account. 2 free months.
That's all they need. Your Google account.
They already got you.
Sign in.
They already have you.
What's worse than the worst of the riot? The worst of the riot podcast. Yeah, you did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. Radio U.
Oh, listen, domestic violence is not funny. It's not up close, but this is funny. We've got a guy who is 26 years old, apparently living with mom. Mm-hmm. And
doesn't say if it's like back with mom, like just during the shelter in place area that he's in or what, or if he's, they just didn't give more details.
He punched his mom in the face for hoarding toilet paper.
Because he thought that she was hoarding toilet paper.
Was she?
Well, she said that she hid toilet paper because her son was using too much. And then that caused a rise in their fighting at home time. And then that led to the argument where he then went after her and punched her. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird.
I wish I could observe it. Like, I want to observe how she's tracking his toilet paper usage. Like, how many times a day is he going to the bathroom? Is he using toilet paper for just, bathroom? Mm-hmm. Is he in there blowing his nose with it? Does he spill something and he runs for the toilet paper? So what is he doing?
This was really miscommunication or just confusion with it because he was in an area outside with Los Angeles County. He's been charged with battery and he's been detained because he thought that the mom was hoarding the toilet paper. Really, the mom was holding back the toilet paper.
That's what hoarding is.
Because the son was using too much, and that's when the argument happened.
No, well, Nikki, I'll just tell you, you have, in some ways, you're right at the heart of it. She says she's just holding some back so she'll have some, which is what hoarding is. Mm-hmm. That's hoarding.
Well, he thought that she was holding it back so that he just couldn't have any. Not because he couldn't handle what they had.
Well, as far as the mom was concerned, he couldn't handle what they had, and he couldn't be trusted with the toilet paper.
So the mom declined medical treatment when deputies came out, and then the son was arrested.
What? What is... No, okay. Everybody has their limits.
Yeah.
Everybody has their line where they get pushed too hard in a place where they just can't and they snap. This guy's line is the toilet paper line.
Wow.
This is what made him snap. Now, we don't know. I'm just going to unfairly characterize here. There was probably some drinking involved.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sure that's probably the case. But it's just interesting to me to see that as a society, like, we're civilized, we behave until certain things start to not work.
Well, this was his.
And we each have that thing. And for this guy, it was toilet paper.
They said throughout California, they've had an increase in calls concerning people fighting just because everybody's temperatures, fuses are very short. Everybody's just in houses, and there's been an increase in those calls.
I know what it's like to get mad at your mom, but you don't punch her.
It's your mom.
Apparently we have to go on. We have to say it.
You do.
You don't punch your mom.
Especially about toilet paper stuff.
And I'm just going to tell you right now, I understand your frustration because you and your mom are locked in a power struggle. She's the have, you're the have-not. And so just like in so many cases historically, the have-nots rise up violently to take from the haves. And that's what you did. You had your own Bolshevik revolution right there in the house over toilet paper. I see what you're trying to do there. But I hate to say this, your mom controls the wealth, and in this particular case, until circumstances change, you really do need to just fall in line
with what's going on.
Ask her how many, squares does she think is appropriate for each usage.
At 26, he can go out and just get his own. You are still allowed to go out and get your own toilet paper.
Stop it. She wouldn't give me
That's the heart of the issue.
She wouldn't give me any money to go buy my toilet paper.
There's a lot of gimme I'm hearing from this guy. And you can just go out and get your own toilet paper and you have your own stash.
Your mom wouldn't have to order toilet paper if you wouldn't use so much.
And you wouldn't have to if you just wouldn't be in the house. Just get out of the house.
Oh, my gosh.
We're adding.
As people, as humans, we have some real problems, guys.
I just think there's a lot of breakdowns happening.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on Radio U.
All you Tiger King people out there, you guys know you're part of the problem, right?
Well, you've caused a commotion concerning how popular that show is.
And now, like 3 months from now, it's going to be like all these like, oh, you like Tiger King, but have you ever heard of the Lion King? Wait, no, the Cat King?
It'll be Lion Prince.
Lion Queen?
It's like, are you watching the new versions? They can find these people everywhere.
It's going to get crazy. It's happening. Well, Tiger King is a sensation.
It is, Nikki. Currently the most, last time I looked, is the most tweeted about show, and it is the most watched show currently.
Here's what I want to know is, well, no, yeah, they count. I just feel like when someone... A lot of times when I'm looking at something on Twitter that's trending, and you click a hashtag, all the responses are, I don't understand why blank is trending. It's not
like it's a trending. Good tweet.
Like, yeah, it's just a nonsense tweet because I want to be included in the conversation and I use the hashtag.
But people do that, and that still counts as talking about it, which is what it's tracking.
Talking about it. It's a meta conversation.
It still counts.
So we're all still part of the problem. Tiger King has been watched 34.4 million times by 34.4 million unique viewers in its first 10 days of release. This means that it was watched in its first 10 days more than Stranger Things and more than Stranger Things 2.
Oh, during the time?
Yes.
Wow,
during
even
the first
the second
10 days.
One?
Yep. Now, it did not beat Stranger Things 3, which was watched 36.3 million times.
In the first 10 days?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's still 5 million ahead of that. But, yeah, that's it.
I don't know why. It's one of those weird shows that just hit at the right time for it to become popular. It's not like there's a reason why it took off.
That is
at
one
the
of
very
those,
beginning.
That's one of those things that a lot of things that are popular, that's the thing where it's like it came at, if it had come at like...
We weren't
a
staying
different
home time.
Like, if it was July 4th, people would have been like, nah, whatever.
Meow.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But instead, it comes when we're all stuck at home and people are like, oh my gosh, there's a tiger, and he's like the king.
When you want to watch a train wreck, because you're losing control of your own life, sometimes you have to go and watch other things that look way worse.
That's right.
And then it makes you feel better, and you feel more control over yourself.
Well, at least I'm not part of a throuple that got eaten by a lion. I don't know, whatever.
Like, I can't stop stress eating during this time at home, but at least I'm not doing that.
I personally...
That's why it's done well.
My theory behind it, which I realize is not true, but I still like it, is that they were like, fine, Disney, you want to take the Lion King away from us? Whatever. We've got... What do we have? Do we have anything? Wait, what's this, Tiger King? Just tell him the Tiger King is coming on.
Bring it in.
Enough people will make a mistake. It's like Transmorphers versus Transformers. It's things like that.
They hope that you'll get it wrong and you'll still stick around watching it.
We don't have Frozen 2. We've got Frozen Solid 2.
People started talking about it because, like, when I watched the first episode... If it wasn't so talked about, I don't think I would have continued, because the first episode is not where the weird stuff. Like, there's some odd stuff, but not the truly weird stuff that doesn't come until a few episodes in.
I'm not in. I'm not watching it.
I don't think you need to.
I'm good. Like, you know what? The news is its own freak show. I don't...
The stuff we see every morning, guys, is way worse than all that stuff.
Well, Nikki's kind of laid it out for me, and I'm like, yeah, we see that all the time. So...
It's not weird.
And again, I'm just telling you, if you don't spend some time with Nikki and I's internet history, and you'll be like, yeah, the news really is bad.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So something that I continue to be... I just feel like I should have been like a sociologist or something. I'm fascinated by human behavior, especially sometimes pack behavior and some of the like the peer pressure thing of like, I'm just going to do it anyway. Here we have a study from the World Health Organization that's saying, look, these masks that you're wearing don't work. And it's like, well, what do you mean they don't work? What they're saying is that you cannot put on a cloth mask. It will not prevent you from getting the coronavirus. Like, you can get COVID-19 right straight through that mask that you have.
Yeah.
The only thing that they have proven that it will do is that if you have it, it will prevent you from spreading it.
So basically, think of like you're not spitting on a bunch of stuff or whatever, and someone then getting it from that.
Right.
But it's not like it keeps it from spreading the same way.
So the idea is that from your mouth and nose, you're expelling tiny droplets. We all do when we breathe. I mean, just think about what your breath looks like when you're outside and it's cold. You know, you're breathing out. So like you're expelling things into the air. That cloth mask is effective at holding that stuff back, but it's not effective at keeping it from coming in. And so the World Health Organization is saying, yeah, like if you're wearing it for protection from others, it doesn't work. The best it can do is protect others from you.
But now everybody says you're supposed to be wearing it. So if you don't wear one, you feel like you're doing something wrong and you can't go out.
Well, that's the thing that to me is interesting about it, is that we claim to be incredibly rational, and we claim that this is all very science-based. It's all very science. The very, like science shows us this is not working. It's not going to help. And yet there's this social pressure like, well, you should do it anyway.
Yeah, like they expect you to.
Well, why should I do it? Dude, you just should.
Which is why just going out is the best, because you can't spread it anyway then if you do that.
What, by not going out?
By just not going out, yeah. They're just saying if you go like to the grocery store or something, you should be wearing one.
I'll just tell you, I do not have COVID-19. I don't. Like, I don't have it. And so the idea that I need to wear a mask to what?
To stop the spread of your things?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have it. And they're like, well, you could be getting it. How? I'm not encountering anyone that has it. Like, I'm encountering 4 people every day. 4 people.
I'm one. This is all we get here.
So unless Nikki is getting it.
If I'm not following the rules.
Now, I can already feel, it's interesting, like, as I'm saying these words, I swear to you, I can feel some of you getting a little angry, a little uncomfortable, a little something like that. But I mean, is this not the very science that we're basing all of this on? Is that not it? Like, am I not obeying the rules as laid out and understanding?
They could just wear one if they want, I guess.
No, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that as I understand it, as I'm reading what the doctors are actually telling me,
sure.
I don't need a mask right now. But you should really get one. Right. Should I? Yeah, you should.
You can't get one. You got to make one at this point. Hey, at least you're taking your temperature, all right?
I took my temperature today.
Did you try it again?
I did.
And?
I got all the way up to 97.1.
Wow, you are cold.
Well, I mean, did you hear everything I just said?
I know. They're like, they expect that.
Isn't that
Oh.
he's just a snake.
It's just tough dealing with that,
That's
right?
what it is. No, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it.
I get what you're saying, and I also get what everybody else is saying, too. And
it's an odd, it's this odd in between. And I know, the argument is you don't know that you don't have it because you could have picked it up and you could be asymptomatic for 2 weeks or even an asymptomatic carrier. So, I get it. I do. But I also don't like the look I get when I'm standing at a gas pump because I don't have a mask on.
Now, gloves, I think, are important.
I've got gloves.
Yeah, your plastic gloves. Those are good.
I wore the gloves, but even those, if you're not using them properly.
Okay. All right, never mind. Just teasing.
Hey.
Never mind.
I'm trying to actually stay safe.
I know.
So you got to use your gloves properly.
That's true.
Know what you're using to protect yourself and how to use it properly.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, Radio U.
I got a few items here for you, Nikki. We said we were going to talk about washing our hands. Mm-hmm. They say that's the most effective way to prevent the spread of corona.
Yep. And don't touch your face, which is all I seem to be able to do. Which is why you got to wash your hands more.
It's so real. I was pumping gas and I used gloves for that. And so put my gloves on, whatever. And I'm standing there pumping the gas and take the back of the glove up and wipe my
your head.
My head. And I was like,
what are we doing here?
Dummy. And I put all the effort in to make sure I put them on. I didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
I used my ungloved hand to use my iPhone so that I could use Apple Pay to pay for the gas. I had thought it through and then just casually rubbed my forehead with my glove. And I was like, well, and that undoes all the effort we just put into this.
We're trying. You try your best.
I guess we live and learn. At Chick-fil-A, they're installing hand washing stations for drive-through employees. Mm-hmm. So if sometimes you roll up to Chick-fil-A and they'll have that person outside.
Yep.
That person is now going to be able to wash their hands every half hour, or
if someone pays
their filthy cash
with cash, then they'll have to wash their hands after each time. So I know this, I like to try to use cash every so often.
Yeah.
So it might be a time to not, just out of the benefit of the person you're working with during this time. Even I know some places that aren't even taking cash.
Yes, I have seen signs that say that they will not take cash.
And that's usually until the stay at home or that time is kind of lifted.
Nikki, don't you see what's happening?
What?
It's all steps. We're all
don't
going.
Look into it that way.
We're going to the one world government, Nikki. There's no cash. We can't see anybody. They're taking away your liberties. You can't meet together. They're taking it away.
No, it's just cash for now, okay? That's it. And just washing your hands. And it's it's hard. There's a lot of people that are saying all that stuff that you just said.
Oh, it kills me. I actually straddle this weird line between going, you know what? If there was a pandemic, this is
I know
this is exactly how you should behave. We're doing the right thing. Then there's this other half of my brain that's just if you really wanted to conquer a country like the United States, you wouldn't want to go at them head on. You'd want to tell them that it's for their safety and we're just trying to take care of you, trying to help you. And you want don't enforce it yourself, get the community to enforce it. So I haven't seen the police keeping people out of the park, but I do see people yelling at each other to not walk next to them. So
it's something.
But you know what? I think it's fine. And I'm definitely wearing gloves and touching my face, apparently.
So that's that's the Chick-fil-A.
I'm doing great.
That is the Chick-fil-A news.
Yeah, it is.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
If you're a first responder or you know one, you should listen up because we got some free stuff, not from us.
Well, just from other places. We want to make sure to highlight it so you know.
So during the month of April, if there is a White Castle near you, you go through the White Castle drive-thru, you eat for free.
That's good.
Yep. So you can show any form of ID showing that you're a first responder, and you get a free combo or breakfast combo. Whatever you want. You
May we put an emphasis on the breakfast combo?
I mean, seriously, I would.
That's the main thing we like.
Things in society have gone way downhill if I'm eating a White Castle burger. Like we are.
He hates onions with a passion.
Like we're in bad shape. But White Castle's breakfast, man, top notch, top shelf, top tier. I mean, I that and. Like between that and Wendy's, I don't know what I would pick if I had to pick one of them. They both have spectacular breakfast options.
That's true.
Just so delicious.
So that goes through the month of April at White Castle.
It does. It does. So that's something that you can do. Another thing is that if you're a Costco member, you can, as a first responder, you can skip the line.
So basically at Costco's, I'm not sure about Sam's Club, but and is that all the big box stores that there is? But at grocery stores sometimes, too, they're making you wait outside. And at certain times, there's going to be longer lines because you have to let one person out and another person goes in. You can have only so many people in the store at a time.
Yeah.
So for Costco, there's been times where it's been very long lines and you can go ahead and go to the front of it.
Yeah. And so that's something that all you have to do in the Costco case is you have to have a form of ID and you do have to have a Costco membership.
And for everyone that gets a bad attitude about it, I want you to walk right on past them and show your badge and just go right on in.
Yeah.
Because you can go in first.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine with me.
But you know people will get an attitude about it.
Mickey, people are going to have an attitude about everything, always, ever. Like that. If you haven't learned anything about humanity from the internet, that's something you should absolutely bury in your heart because it's a truth. That's a truth. That's a truth.
I wonder for the rest of the places they have senior hours seems to be a big thing.
Yeah,
Can you go in with like your grandma or your something like that? Are you allowed to go in with them, or I think they have to be the one to pay?
I don't know. So you can't. So you're saying in this new regime, we can't even buy our grandparents some.
Well, like for places that have memberships and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I went to the store. What's today?
Today's Thursday.
Okay, I went to the store on Monday.
Yeah,
but I haven't been to Costco in 3 weeks.
Don't you miss it? I haven't been in either.
all I hear is that Costco is like the wild jungle now.
Well, sometimes I've been sending Eric, and he'll say like sometimes it's fine. It's just people are on edge, and then other times the line's completely down the road. So it just depends on when you go.
Just depends. Okay. Well, let me put it to you this way: the things I hear about Costco make me think,
you can wait. So again, for healthcare,
whatever they have, I don't need it.
For healthcare workers and first responders, you can skip that line. Just make sure you keep your ID with you.
Police officers, EMTs, and firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Okay, I don't fit in any of those categories. Do you think you feel funny like rolling through to get your free food at White Castle? Like, do you feel weird about it, or are you just like, nah, man, I'll be back tomorrow?
I don't think so. I don't think you should.
Yeah.
I don't think that's anything wrong with it.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if they came out and they're like, during the month of May, every morning, every DJ in America is going to get free White Castle breakfast. See, they wouldn't do that because DJs are such mooches that that would be, White Castle would look like Costco. There would be a line of cars.
Out the door, they're like, what type of DJ are you, sir?
What about podcasters?
Does that work? That's never going to be an option.
It's never going to work out.
So we don't even have to worry about it.
Don't worry.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Really?
I mean, well, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I was just, that's quite a sigh right there.
Yeah, I think that you and I this weekend, I don't feel like you and I have embraced this new lifestyle yet because we haven't started doing weird food things yet.
What do you mean?
I feel like, well, earlier in the show, we talked about one of the friends of the show that sent us a link or photos of her she made air fried Oreos.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes. Get your hanky out.
Wave the hank.
I only have paper towels.
Here, I'm going to wait. We have these gloves.
Disinfectant wipes.
All right, I'm going to wave this plastic glove.
Yes.
I can't. They're all sticking together.
You can't wave everything.
Wave.
Wave your plastic glove around.
Waving it.
Nice.
Okay. Not that you guys, I didn't need to do that. Nobody can see it, but I need it for me. I need it for me.
During our stay-at-home, and you're blowing up the glove. That's fine.
You got to do that before you put it on.
During our stay-at-home time, we should be experimenting.
We should.
Doing all the TikTok trends, like everything that we should be doing. I get it.
One of the ones on that list, the Hot Pockets, they're releasing a pancake crust Hot Pocket that's breakfast. It's got bacon, egg, and cheese in it. But you could make that at home. Essentially, make yourself a breakfast burrito, but instead of tortilla, you do it with a pancake, and then you shouldn't layer it on. I think you got to show some
restraint,
but I think just a light layer of like syrup, where you just spread it on, give it a second to soak into the pancake. It's almost like a McGriddle.
Good call.
And then you fill it up with all the stuff, and then you roll it up, and then you just eat it like it's a burrito.
Let me get my paper towels again.
Woo!
It's a miracle.
I'm feeling faint.
The only problem with all the trend stuff, because I've seen a couple that I want to do, is then I don't have the stuff to do it, and I don't want to go to the store. So
Don't you have any first responder friends? Make them go to the
store with me.
Okay, so this is something that Hot Pockets is actually doing. They're releasing a Hot Pocket that they say the crust is a pancake crust. But when I look at that, I feel like a normal Hot Pocket is something that I can't. There's going to be too much effort involved in creating it at home. But the breakfast Hot Pocket with the pancake crust, I can do this.
That's easy.
Man, doesn't that sound good?
That's a DIY. We can do this.
Oh, for real.
They're also debuting a biscuit version.
Okay, no, that's just wrong.
We can't do biscuits, but biscuits are delicious.
Just wrong. When did those come out?
That's coming. It's not debuted yet.
The only problem with that is we all know the truth that Hot Pockets are soggy. So a biscuit gets soggy when you microwave it. So what have they done? What dark, sinister deal with some evil force have they struck
to make the biscuits work
in order to get that to work?
I don't know their corporation very well, so I don't know. What deal have they made?
I don't know that either.
So the Hot Pocket pancake crust ones, that'll be in May, unless you find it a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Or you make it at home.
So, well.
Okay, there's an option.
There's an option. I'm just telling you that you and I need to embrace. Hot Pockets is showing us the way, and you and I need to walk the path. Because there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path.
You do the pancakes then. I don't like making pancakes.
What?
I don't like making pancakes.
It's easy.
No, they're weird.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So I had all this stuff I wanted to talk about, but I have to put everything on hold because something else has popped up.
What has popped up?
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, and you probably don't, though. If you're spying on Nikki the way you're supposed to be, you already know.
You already know everything.
All right. And that is this.
Please don't spy on me.
Nikki got her tax return today.
I did. Woo!
Yeah,
She did.
She got her tax return, so she's...
It's not a lot, but it's something.
She's flush with cash.
What should we do today?
Well, I'll tell you what I found out, Nikki. I did not know this, but apparently the Nintendo Switch Lite has been in very short supply.
Yes, I noticed that.
I saw that people have been buying them up and I guess hoarding them so they could sell them at a higher price.
It's the toilet paper of the electronics world.
Well, Nikki, I just got a notice that they're back in stock at Best Buy. And you've got all that money.
I know. Eric doesn't understand why I want one. He really doesn't.
Okay, wait.
Because we have a Switch. And he's like, why do you want to buy another one? He is supportive. It's 100% true. But he says, why do you want, the lesser one?
Of all the people on this earth.
He doesn't buy duplicates a lot of stuff. He just buys very expensive first things. Or like 12 speakers.
Well, you know what? That's what you need to say. I'm like, Eric, you already have one speaker.
Why do you need
Why do you need 11 more?
No, I understand what he's saying because he doesn't understand because he doesn't, I don't know, he's still supportive.
He just doesn't get you, Nikki. You don't understand me.
You're not even getting me.
You never will.
And this is what I need during this time.
You're so judgmental.
Well, I was looking on Amazon and they're being sold by other sellers there. So there's more money there.
Sure.
Because like you mentioned, Amazon and Nintendo are not the best of friends.
They're not. It's weird. They aren't, and Amazon and Disney are not great
the best of friends.
And so a lot of times through Amazon, you will not be able to pre-order something that's a Disney product, and it's the same with Nintendo. Oftentimes, this is not always true, but oftentimes they won't offer a pre-order for a Nintendo product, or you'll only see it available from third-party sellers and different things like that.
But I was thinking I wanted a Switch Lite. Like maybe I'd play it more, and they're doing their big Mario stuff during the summer, though it won't be available till the fall. So maybe I was just looking at the gray one or the yellow or the teal.
I just want to see you happy.
I know, maybe this is it.
And
then also this is tired, Nikki, and I haven't been out as much, Nikki, and I want to make sure that I'm making the right choice, and I don't know.
I mean, I think something that we can all, there's a lot of things we disagree on, but I think we can all agree with the fact that spending money on things is the best way to be happy, right? Isn't that?
At least in this case, it could be.
Isn't that the case?
I think I'm going to probably wait and see what happens.
Okay. Well.
And I want to wait till the stimulus check comes in. Because that's more. Maybe we'll just wait for that.
I think you should spend your tax return on this, and then when the stimulus check comes in, you buy something else.
What?
Then you just buy something else.
I think we got to save something, don't we?
No, you don't. Nikki, one day you're going to die, okay? And what you need to do is you need to acquire as much stuff as you can before then. So if I were you,
that's the way to put it.
I would definitely buy that thing and buy it today. See if you can get that curbside pickup on your way home.
Now. I want to roll down the window. I want him to throw it into the car.
Yes.
And I want to drive on home, and then I'm fine.
And if I were you, when you get it home, just leave it in the box.
Actually, it would be nice for tomorrow because then, I could go into the weekend with it.
You'd have it for the weekend. You could just play.
We'll see. It's a we'll see.
It'd be a lot easier to have in bed because it's light.
Yeah.
It's a little bit smaller.
I just wanted the one with the color, so.
Well, and that's going to be easier on your eyes.
It is.
I have my TV backlit because that contrast, actually, it's easier on my eyes.
You just keep it in my bag.
Yeah, it'll always be with you. You'll never be without it.
Listen, we are supposed to
be happy through things.
No, you're supposed to.
That's not it.
You're supposed to give me, like the one side and the left and the right side. You're not helping me with the don't buy it side.
So the question is, am I being the little devil or the little angel right now?
Aww.
It's hard to know.
Well,
in these trying times, it's hard to tell the difference.
Remember, you took your body temperature today, so you're not anywhere near the devil's side. You're too cold for that.
It's too cold for that.
His body temperature today is very cold.
Oh, but it is.
I'll decide, but thank you for letting me know it's in stock.
We'll see this. I want us to move now. I'm not playing music until you buy one, so let's go.
I can't. I'm not buying it right now.
Right now.
And we have to do the show. That's how I get money in the first place. We got to get paid.
You're getting paid? Come on. Switch. Switch.
Holvey.
Switch.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
We haven't seen a trailer yet. We've only seen photos. But yesterday, we saw photos for Space Force.
Space Force? Oh, the Netflix thing?
Space Force is the Netflix show starring Steve Carell that is about, yes.
Space Force.
Space Force.
Where's your song?
Oh, yeah.
Your Space Force song.
I'm sorry. You know what's happening? I'm slipping.
You're getting too comfortable. There. You never get to use it much.
I'm slipping, Nikki.
Space Force.
Space Force. Just let it sink in. I want to give it a minute. Space Force. So it's happening. They gave a premiere date for it, May 29th. And it's going to be the drama of...
Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's supposed to be a show, right? It's not just... I really hope it's a show. I don't want it to be a movie. Yeah, it's a series. Co-created by and starring Steve Carell. The only problem that I potentially see here is that here's what we all want. We all want Space Force : The Office.
Yeah.
We don't want Steve Carell to make a new character. We want Michael Scott to be the head of Space Force.
Will they do that? I don't know. And I don't want a Space Force show to teach me something. I want a Space Force show to be fun and light and entertaining.
I want Space Force to be, just how absurd Space Force is.
Yes, that's exactly what we want.
I mean, if you guys would have called it...
I don't know if they'll deliver on that, but that's what we want.
You know what I think is funny is if when they, unveiled Space Force, if they would have just called it Space Command, you know what we would have done? Yeah, okay.
You think
right.
so?
It's
the force part that makes it weird?
Yes, I do.
Command doesn't make it odd?
Nope.
Okay.
Because I think that, I'm just telling you the truth. I think if they would have said Space Command, people would have been like, okay, maybe it's ridiculous, but it sounds, it's fine. But there's something about Space Force that is just like, wait, what? It feels way too much like somebody's been playing too much Halo.
Yeah.
And we got to have Space Force.
So basically, when Mike Pence said that Space Force would be led by a 4-star general, then that led to the creation of this...
Space Force.
Space Force.
This force that's going to be in space.
This TV show, and that will be Steve Carell's character for it.
The 4-star general that's
the 4-star general.
Space Force. I really want it to be good.
Man, if it was made for someone, it's made for you right over there.
I really...
So it'll be on May 29th, and that will be Space Force, the new Netflix show.
Yeah. Just as a side note, by the way, as much as we have made fun of Space Force, we probably need something like that because of maybe not so much where it's all headed. Nikki, the aliens are coming.
Stop.
We got to be ready.
Someone's listening is like, I knew he believed that stuff.
It's real.
It's real. They just are going to be very confused about what you do and do not believe. You're going to make it very hard.
What? No, come on.
Just shh. Don't joke with everything.
Everything you guys believe about me is true.
Don't say that, too. Come on.
All of it.
May
the good,
29th.
the bad, the ugly. It's all true.
May 29th. We'll see how it turns out. Space Force on Netflix.
Victoria says Space Command was the previous division. When it became a branch, it became Space Force. Well, they should have stuck with Command. Nobody made fun of Strategic Air Command. They were scared of it. It was a gloved hand holding lightning. That's scary. Space Force is Luke Skywalker holding a lightsaber. It's hard to take it seriously. No offense to those of you who take it very seriously.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
So there's a stay-at-home order in place, depending on what state you're in, and it depends on how strong it is and who's essential and who's not essential, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I can tell you right now, in the town of Elizabeth, New Jersey, they've decided to take the stay-at-home order a little more seriously. They don't want to send police out to break up social gatherings. Mm-hmm. So instead, they're going to have their police stay behind, and they're going to send out drones. They are going to use these drones to monitor public places, and that drone will play a pre-recorded message from the mayor telling you to disperse.
But will they do anything else, like shoot little pellets or something? Or?
No, not yet.
Okay. Warnings are the first step.
Do you know what the HKs are, Nikki?
Well, I had seen one time a drone shooting off fireworks at people, like in a crowd, so I wasn't sure.
Well, no, right now it's just going to issue a stern verbal warning from the mayor that they need to disperse.
And not be grouping together.
Yeah, that's the word. Think about it. I'm telling you, man, don't think about it. If you think about the idea that a police drone is going to be flying through the park telling you that you can't...
It sounds bad. It sounds really bad. It sounds like the New World Order.
Think about it.
Yeah.
And between that and the fact that your house is full of microphones that you paid for,
this is how it is.
What? I'm telling you, dude.
I don't know. You're not supposed to analyze all this stuff, all right? Don't do it right now. Wait till this all goes back a bit more normal.
When I read this story yesterday, I was like, yeah, people really shouldn't get together. And then, again, that other part of my brain was like, yeah, We should just have the police fly drones around all the time, telling people what to do remotely. It's a great idea.
You're finally starting to see some of the things that were in some of the older sci-fi movies and stuff of like a different type of world. You're finally starting to see some of that.
And we're just like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine now. I'm a little concerned about what happens the next time around, which I'm not supposed to be. I'm not even being a conspiracy guy. Remember how all those old stories about some sickness that would be so easily passed, and we were like, that could never happen. A government using drones to tell you to stay inside. That's not going to happen.
Again, when you say it out loud, you put all this together. Stop it.
It's killing me.
Stop doing it.
It's killing me.
Just stay at home. You're fine.
Andy and Mike feel me. They're texting in, Skynet, here we come.
Oh, yeah, they both said that.
I know what you're saying. It's fine, though. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it.
Doesn't seem like it.
The mayor is like, bro, you guys need to stay home, though, for real. You guys need to stop, with this gathering together.
Some people don't care about the order, and I don't understand why. They just don't care.
Yep, that's exactly right. They don't care. And I mean, it's not a constitutional right to gather, so don't worry about it.
Well, let's just say this. The rest of us want to gather, and you not gathering is keeping all of us from being able to go back to gathering one day when it's allowed.
Now, some of you are like really hurt by this not gathering thing. I'm just like, I'm good. I'm fine. You know what?
We didn't really gather much to begin with.
I don't really like traffic, and I wasn't going to that big thing anyway.
But let's just be safe and smart about our choices. And if you have to be being told off by the drone, then that maybe wasn't your smart choice.
The other thing you should consider doing is reporting on your neighbors. If you see them doing something,
don't, because people do.
Make sure you call, because the drones can't be everywhere, which is why we need you to make sure you're watching your neighbors.
I didn't snitch on my neighbor who was having a party.
Well, but it was all just chickens.
I know it wasn't. It was people. It was another neighbor. I just tweeted about it, but I didn't say who, so I didn't really tell on him.
You're just one step away
of telling.
Yeah. And now all you need to do is, like, you tweet about it, then you get a phone call like, hello, Citizen Nikki. Could you
point out which neighbor it is?
Just tell us which address it is. We'll send the drones immediately. And the drones just come down and they start spraying a gas. It doesn't kill anybody. It just makes you throw up. And then the crowd just disperses.
I'm just staying inside. It's fine. Just be quiet and stay inside.
Oh, no, it's not funny. That's not funny. The vomiting would be funny. I'd be out there laughing.
The Riot. Not everyone's a fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
All right, Nikki. That song was inspired by, and I believe written for, Disney Plus.
Manifest?
That's the truth. Manifest.
Hey, we talked to Manifest about that song.
I know, but, he's probably, as a secret Disney employee, he's not allowed to talk about it.
I don't think so. But are you talking how, like, Disney Plus is just booming right now?
They're at an all-time high. They're at an all-time high.
Right?
Yeah, because they just announced, like, hey, we're over 50 million subscribers now.
Is that a lot, or I don't know to compare it? I
mean, like, compared to our podcast numbers, no, it's not a lot.
Well, they can't reach those numbers in the first year.
It's not. But compared to, like, that's very quick adoption.
Yeah.
Netflix, I can't remember what their numbers are, but it's over, I believe, 100 million. But you got to figure they just rolled in and started.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of impressive.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Well, I think they took enough from everybody else. They took all their stuff back and put it on the one. I think it's nice enough looking that it is. Everybody wants to talk to you over there.
I'm sorry. I keep thinking I have that turned off, and I don't.
It's just not in all the places. But yeah, I think they came out at the time where people would want their stuff all in one nice package.
Yeah. Well, and you consider, again, what are we all doing right now?
Staying home watching stuff.
Are we all sitting? That's another question. I am kind of ranty today, and I'm sorry, but are we sitting around watching TV all the time? Because I'm not.
Well, I think a lot of people are. I don't know if Disney Plus is the answer, though. I don't watch Disney Plus as much as Netflix.
No, I don't either.
But it varies on what comes out.
I watched Iron Man 3 a couple weeks ago. I watched that on Disney Plus.
I watched the Onward one.
I still haven't watched that yet.
That came out on Friday, so.
I also rewatched like the first half of The Black Hole. I wanted to see, that is not a good movie, but it has some of the best production design ever. I just love the way it looks.
Production design? I want to make sure I'm not looking at, does it have great production?
Design.
Okay, design. It's different.
Look at the models and the sets. They're so great. They're so great. Don't pay attention to the performances, the story. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm going to tell you to ignore, but the production design and seeing it in HD, very cool.
I don't know if that's enough to get me to watch it. But
I don't suspect that it would be.
So $50 million for Disney Plus, and is it still just here or a few countries? I don't think it's everywhere.
It just launched in France, so that's something.
So they haven't had a chance to even build their numbers. They haven't had a chance to build their numbers internationally.
They're still working on it. Yeah, there are still regions where they haven't launched, but they're working on it. So just be glad, be proud to be an American where we got that Disney Plus.
Not for free.
And I won't work, and I'm not allowed to ride on the bus. Wait.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Where are the weird ones?